My CEO wife's ruthless old flame, Tom, came back. The first thing he did was threaten to come after me, her stand-in, so I ran off overnight with my daughter, Anna. But in the 8 years after I left, my wife, Lucy, never once looked for me. She married Tom in a huge wedding, traveled the world with him, and showed up at every big event. Everyone saw them as the perfect couple. The only thing they never had was a child. Meanwhile, I struggled to survive, working 7 jobs a day and saving every cent for Anna's medical bills. In the 9th year, I was working as a waiter at an important event. While pouring wine for a guest, I accidentally bumped right into Lucy. Lucy stared at me in shock, her voice trembling, asking where I had been all these years and whether our daughter was still alive. After 8 years apart, Lucy was still cold and beautiful. I just stood there, frozen and speechless. The event manager cursed at me for crashing into Miss Lucy and told me to kneel down and apologize. The manager rushed over and slapped me across the face. I quickly apologized, saying I didn't mean to dirty Miss Lucy's clothes. Just as I was about to kneel, Lucy suddenly said to let it go. She frowned, glanced at me and added, "You kneel just because they tell you to? Do you have no pride left? If you're living this badly, you might as well be dead." I stopped caring about pride a long time ago. The first time I knelt was when Anna had a fever and I had no money, so I knelt outside a clinic. Later, I knelt for jobs, for wages, and just to stay alive. But I didn't tell Lucy any of that. I only forced an ugly smile, said thank you, and turned to leave. Then I heard people greeting Mr. Tom, and the crowd suddenly stirred. I looked over, my pupils shrinking slightly, instantly regretting taking this part-time event job. From the scar on his face, I knew it was Lucy's old flame, Tom. Back when he returned to the country, he threatened to chop me up and feed me to the dogs, and to strangle my daughter. Afraid he would recognize me, I hurried into the crowd and went straight to the lounge to hide. Just then, my phone buzzed. It was the private hospital calling. The doctor said a donor heart had been found that matched my daughter, but there was another patient competing for it. That family was rich and powerful, and he could only hold it for me for 1 hour. If I couldn't get to the hospital and pay within that hour, we would have to wait for the next chance. I was beyond excited and promised I would be there in time. After hanging up, I immediately called someone from the streets planning to take out a loan shark loan. The whole heart transplant would cost at least $2 million, and I didn't have enough. But if we waited for another chance, who knew how long it would take or whether my daughter could hold on? So even if I had to sell myself or my blood, I had to take this chance. Once the money came through, I was about to leave when the event manager blocked me at the door. Tom's wedding ring was missing, and every employee had to go to the hall for inspection. I explained that I had been more than 30 feet away from Tom, and that I needed to get to the hospital, but the manager wouldn't listen. He had the security guards drag me to the hall. I hid in the very last row, keeping my head down, terrified that Tom would recognize me. Tom demanded that whoever stole his wedding ring step forward at once, or he would throw them into the river to feed the fish. As he spoke, Tom's icy gaze swept across everyone. Then he told the 5th person from the right in the last row to raise his head. My heart sank, and cold sweat broke out all over me. I refused to look up, but the manager cursed at me and forced my chin up. My eyes met Tom's. He narrowed his eyes slightly and walked toward me step by step. Tom asked if I was the one who stole his wedding ring. I quickly shook my head and said it was my first time seeing him today. Everyone knew Tom was ruthless and never cared about human life. To get rid of anyone in his way, there was nothing he wouldn't do. Judging by this setup, was he trying to frame me? Lucy glanced at me and said mockingly that it probably wasn't me, because when I heard Tom was coming back, I ran away overnight. How would I dare